Have you ever really thought about it? I mean, really thought about why you're drawn to a certain color? Is it just your taste in clothes? The color of your living room curtains? Or could there be something deeper going on? Something personal, emotional, maybe even romantic? Now, imagine this for a second. You're standing in front of your closet. You reach for that same color shirt or scarf you always do. Or maybe your garden is filled with those familiar shades you've loved for years. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, why that color? Why does it speak to you? Here's the twist. That favorite color of yours might be saying more about your love life than you think. Especially now, after 60, when love takes on a whole new shape. A softer shape. A wiser one. Maybe even a braver one. You see, love in our later years isn't like it was in our 20s. It's not about chasing butterflies or playing games. It's about connection, trust, understanding. But even in this quieter chapter, there's still passion. There's still romance. And sometimes, the color you're drawn to is a reflection of the kind of love your heart still craves, or the kind of love you've already mastered. Red, blue, yellow, green, purple, white. Each of these colors has something to say about your emotions, your needs, your romantic energy, and the beautiful, complicated ways you express love now. So let me ask you, what if your favorite color is a secret window into how you love today? In this video, we're going to gently open that window. You'll discover what your go-to color might reveal about your emotional world, your romantic personality, and maybe even a few things you didn't know about yourself. Some of it might make you smile. Some of it might catch you off guard. And who knows? It might even spark a conversation with someone you care about. So before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Comment below with your favorite color. And tell me why you think you've always loved it. Does it represent your heart, your history, your hopes? Let's talk about it in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Healthy Senior Advice, because growing older doesn't mean growing dull. It means growing deeper. Alright, let's begin. What does your favorite color say about your love life after 60? 1. Red, the passionate reawakener. Eleanor is 68. Every Sunday at church, she wears the same bright red scarf. Not out of habit, but intention. She once told me, "It reminds me I'm still alive." That passion isn't just for the young, it's for the brave. Red is bold. It's warm. It makes the heart beat just a little faster. And scientifically, it's known to stimulate energy and even boost circulation. It's the color of vitality, of awakening. In your golden years, red might be whispering something to you, something about desire, adventure, maybe even romance that still sizzles under the surface. But here's the problem. Too many people assume that once you're over 60, you've lost interest in passion, that you no longer want affection, or that intimacy is something you've outgrown. That couldn't be further from the truth. If you're drawn to red, it could mean that deep inside, you still crave closeness, touch, laughter, those little sparks that make life feel electric again. So what can you do? Try small things. Hold hands while you walk. Surprise your partner with a little note. Plan a date night, even if it's just trying a new recipe together. You don't have to climb mountains. Sometimes, love after 60 just needs a little flame to remind you it's still burning. But not everyone craves fire and intensity. Some of us find our strength in stillness. That's where blue comes in. 2. Blue, the loyal romantic. Mark is 72. A widower. Every night, he drapes his late wife's blue shawl over his chair before bed. "It's calm," he says. "Like our love always was. Quiet, steady." Blue is the color of loyalty, depth, and calm. Scientifically, it's been shown to reduce stress and lower blood pressure. That's no surprise. It reflects emotional security, stability, trust. And when it comes to love, especially in our later years, that kind of peace becomes more valuable than ever. But let's clear something up. Some people think blue is boring. That preferring blue means you've lost your sense of romance. But in truth, It often means you've matured into a love that doesn't need grand gestures to feel real. If you gravitate toward blue, you probably value connection over chaos. You don't want drama. You want someone who listens. Who remembers your favorite tea? Who's still there when the day winds down and the house goes quiet? So how do you keep that kind of love strong? Focus on emotional intimacy. Have those honest conversations. Sit together in silence. Share your stories, even the painful ones. And don't be afraid to lean in, even after all these years. Now, some of us aren't looking for calm, we're looking for joy. We light up the room when we walk in. We laugh loudly. We wear yellow. 3. Yellow, the cheerful connector. Gloria is 63. She has yellow curtains, yellow shoes, even a yellow teacup that she uses every single morning. She once laughed and said, "I like my mornings the way I like my tea, bright, warm, and sweet." Yellow is the color of cheerfulness and connection. It's associated with dopamine, the brain's happy chemical. It sparks creativity and optimism. If you love yellow, chances are, you bring light into the lives of others. You're the glue that holds your friendships together. You're the one organizing brunch, sending birthday cards, making sure no one feels forgotten. And yet, people sometimes misunderstand you. They may think you're shallow, or that your joy is just for show. But the truth? Your positivity is your strength. You believe in hope. You believe love should be fun, even if it's simple. If yellow calls to you, don't dim that light. Seek out community. Join a walking group, try a dance class, travel with your best friend, or just have regular coffee dates. You're a connector. And love for you is best when shared and celebrated. Then again, maybe you don't want the spotlight. Maybe what you truly long for is something deeper, safer, richer. Let's talk about purple. 4. Purple, the intuitive soulmate seeker. Barbara is 69. She starts every morning in a lavender-painted room, cross-legged on a cushion, with her eyes closed and hands resting gently on her knees. She doesn't chase love. She listens for it. She believes love after 60 should be soulful, not performative. Quiet, not flashy. Purple isn't loud. It's inward, reflective, and it's often linked to intuition, wisdom, and spiritual awareness, traits that grow stronger with age. You've lived, you've loved, you've lost. And through all of that, you've come to understand that real connection isn't always about romance. Sometimes, it's about recognition. But some people don't get that. They might say purple types are too emotional or too out there, that they overthink things. But here's the truth. People who love purple often feel deeply. They sense things in others that go unnoticed. They connect on levels that aren't always visible. If purple is your favorite color, chances are you crave depth over drama. You want a love that listens, that sees you, that feels like home to your soul. So how do you find that? Start with conversations. Real ones. Ask the hard questions. Talk about meaning, purpose, values. Because for you, it's not about the surface, it's about spirit. And when you find someone who sees the world the way you do, the connection can be profound. But maybe you're not looking for something spiritual or passionate. Maybe what you really want is peace, stability. Let's talk about green. 5. Green, the nurturer of love. Joe is 75. His hands are rough from years in the garden. Every morning, he waters his roses. Every evening, he makes tea for his wife before they sit down and watch the sunset together. He once said, "Green keeps me grounded. It reminds me that love doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be real." Green is the color of nature, of growth, healing, and safety. And when it comes to love, it represents a kind of care that's not about grand displays, but about showing up day after day. Some people misunderstand that. They think green is too soft or too simple. But love built on consistency, on calm, on nurturing, that's the kind that lasts. If green calls to you, You probably find joy in the little things. Preparing a favorite meal. Fixing a broken button. Checking in with a simple, "How was your day?" You don't need fireworks. You need roots, a love that grows slowly but deeply. So how can you feed that kind of love? Keep doing the small things. They matter more than you think. Offer kindness. Be present. Create safe space for the ones you love. Because your strength isn't loud, it's steady. And that kind of love, it never goes out of style. Now, what if you've made peace with being on your own? What if your favorite color is something soft, like snow? That brings us to the final color. 6. White, the peaceful self-lover. Elaine is 80. She wears white every single day. Not because she's mourning, but because, as she puts it, I found a calm in myself that love couldn't give me. White is the color of stillness, of clarity, of completion. It doesn't shout. It doesn't chase. It just is. And it's often loved by those who have made peace with their journey, who've stopped searching for something outside and started embracing what's within. Scientifically, white is linked to emotional resolution. It reflects a mind that's not in conflict, a heart that's no longer chasing validation. People may see someone dressed in white and think they're lonely, but often, they've just discovered the joy of their own company. If you're drawn to white, it could mean you've found peace in solitude. You've let go of the pressure to be in a relationship. You've stopped comparing. And instead, you nurture your life like a garden that doesn't need anyone else's approval to bloom. So what's the advice here? Don't apologize for loving your alone time. Embrace it. Protect it. But also, stay open. The most unexpected connections often come when you're at peace with yourself. Just because you're content alone doesn't mean you're closed off from love. It just means love now comes from a deeper place. These colors, red, blue, yellow, purple, green, and white, aren't just preferences. They're windows into the kind of love you long for, and the kind you're ready to give. They show us that love after 60 isn't one size fits all. It's layered. It's tender. It's real. But how do we process all these different expressions of love emotionally? Let's take a moment to reflect on what this means for you, and what you can do with this insight. For many of us, love after 60 doesn't look like the movies. It's not candlelit dinners every night or passionate declarations in the rain. It's a quiet hand held during a doctor's appointment. It's a familiar voice calling just to say, "I was thinking about you." It's learning how to be alone without being lonely, and how to be together without losing yourself. Recognizing your color is like holding a mirror up to your heart. You start to see things clearly, maybe for the first time in a long while. And that can stir something deep inside. A realization. You're still capable of loving, deeply, honestly, powerfully. And even more importantly, you are still worthy of being loved in return. But it's time we reframed the question. Instead of asking, "Am I still desirable?" ask this. How do I want to be loved now? Because you're not who you were at 30, or even 50. And that's okay. You've earned the right to want a love that reflects the you you've become. So whether you're single, widowed, in a decades-long marriage, or just starting again, take a moment. Really think about what your favorite color might be saying. Not just about how you love others, but how you want to be loved. Where do you feel safest? Where do you feel seen? You deserve a love that fits your current season. A love that's not rushed, or performative, or based on old expectations. But a love that is real, steady, and yours. Because here's the truth. There's no right color. No better way to love. Each hue reveals a unique path. And all of them are valid. All of them are beautiful. Love doesn't fade with age. It doesn't disappear. It simply changes hue. And sometimes, that shift is exactly what makes it more meaningful than ever before. So today, we explored the spectrum of love through color. We started with red, for passion, vitality, and a fierce kind of desire that still burns brightly in our later years. Then we moved into blue, where loyalty, trust, and emotional depth create a steady foundation that lasts a lifetime. Yellow brought joy, warmth, and social connection, perfect for those who light up a room with their spirit. Purple showed us the soulful path, the one that seeks shared values, deep conversations, and emotional resonance. Green reminded us of the quiet power in nurturing, healing love, love that grows like a well-tended garden. And white, the color of peace, acceptance, and inner calm. Not loneliness, but self-love. Emotional independence. Stillness that feels like home. Each color told a story. Each one revealed something honest and heartfelt. And now, I'd love to hear your story. Which color best reflects your love life right now? Which one surprised you the most, or maybe even challenged the way you see yourself? Let's open up in the comments. Let's make this a space for wisdom, vulnerability, and connection. And if this video resonated with you, if it made you think, or feel something you hadn't felt in a while, give it a like. It truly helps us grow this beautiful community. And please consider subscribing to Healthy Senior Advice. Because here, we explore aging not with fear, but with grace, connection, and heart. This isn't about getting older. It's about growing wiser, richer, more whole. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you leave feeling a little more understood, and a little more seen. Stay colorful, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.